Morning, y'all. It's Leanne from Frugal Living in G-Town, and today I'm reporting from chilly, cold, dreary Garner, North Carolina. But hey, I'm off today, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood, as they say. Um, just wanted to do a little different today. Instead of typing out a post, thought I'd do a little vlog. And I follow a girl on YouTube. Budget girl, young girl in her 20s. I think she's starting out, small town newspaper in Arkansas, and following the Dave Ramsey method of getting out of debt, paying off her student loans. She has quite a large following, and someone wrote into her about the if you want to pay off debt and live frugal, but your spouse wants to support local businesses, and the prices in the local businesses are more expensive than what you really want to pay. And what would she do? And it kind of got me thinking. It really kind of depends on what kind of items you're talking about. If you're talking about you want to buy a lawnmower and there may be only $10 difference, let's say, between the lawnmower at Joe Blow Hardware and Walmart, then if you feel strongly about it, then sure, go ahead and give your business to the locally owned business, and feel good about it. It's only $10, and you've bought an item that you'll probably make back that $10 over the years of usage. If it's $3 or $4 and it's the cost of a bottle of ibuprofen, and I can get it cheaper at Walmart or Target, I'm going to go there. And basically, it just comes down to your bottom line. What's best for you and your family, your budget, and not everybody is on the same path in the frugal living, getting out of debt, trying to live a sustainable life. Frugal living really looks different for everybody. There's no set method that will work for everybody. I don't know how many times, if you're like me, you read a blog, and this person's doing these things, and you're like, oh my goodness, that is so cool. That is a great idea. And it's like, oh, the angels are singing down from heaven. And you're like, wow, I got to do that for myself. I got to try that. I've got to make that homemade cleaner. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And you try it, and it just does not work for you. Either you thinking, way too much problem, way too much effort. In the long run, you're buying so many ingredients that you could have bought your bottle of Windex for cheaper, or it simply doesn't work. It might work for a person living in Idaho, but it doesn't work for you. So I think we're just all different, and for us to think a one size fits all in the area of frugal living, frugal blogging, vlogging, getting out of debt. Now, I do think the one size fits all really does work when it comes down to basically you have to cut expenses and cut spending. And if you can, get a higher income. Those are things that have to be done to get you to your goals. No way around it. How you get there and how you choose to get there, whether it's living off the grid, living in an apartment in downtown Raleigh or New York City, Boston, living in the suburbs in Cary, in Garner, living more rural. All that are decisions we have to make for ourselves. No one should tell you this is the only way to do it. That you have to do things this way, or you're not a true frugal living enthusiast. You're not a true frugal blogger. So I just think it's something to think about. I hope that no one ever thinks that what I'm writing about that I'm hitting you over the head with a hammer saying you must do things my way. I am sharing things. Obviously, I'm sharing things that I hope you find helpful and think, well, maybe you can try this. And if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, it's not going to hurt my feelings any. Maybe you didn't like the recipe I made. Maybe you don't like homemade soft scrub. Maybe it doesn't work for you. There's all kinds of room out there for people to do things their way. But I think it's just really important to kind of get it out there for frugal bloggers to all kind of unite and say, hey, we're in this together, and to root for each other to get out of debt, to root for each other to reach our dreams, to root for each other to say, hey, you got a friend out there. I think it's really neat. I've met some people in Connecticut, in Idaho, Virginia, Cincinnati, Michigan. I don't know where some of the other readers that, post replies on mine are from, but I'm like, this is so cool. I live in Garner, North Carolina, right outside the capital. I live 2.5 hours from the beach. I live 3.5 hours from the mountains, and I'm talking to people all over the world. Well, maybe, at least the U.S. in several different states. And we're able to keep in touch with one another. And through the blogosphere, we can give each other a pat on the back and tell each other we're thinking about you, we're praying for you, how are you doing? So just something to throw out there. And also, I don't know about you, but I have heard in the last few days of several people losing their jobs. And this is something that really is playing in the back of my mind. If you read one of my last posts about unemployment and is your job safe, I'm really thinking that more and more jobs are not so safe out there right now. And as someone who's trying to live frugal and cutting even more expenses, I think that's going to be even more and more important, especially between now and the end of the year. Election year always seems to, the economy, there's always a cycle in economies anyway. I don't care who the president is, who the Congress is, who the Senate is, the economy is always in cycles. And but I'm just hearing of too many people losing jobs, and it really is something to be concerned about. I don't stay up at night and worry about it, but it does concern me, and I think it should concern you. I do think that's something where it should concern all of us, and if we can, to cut our expenses and look at ways to where we can do things more efficiently, frugally, sustainably, and I hope we can ride this all out together. So I hope you have a really great day. Enjoy it. Live frugally and prosper. Thanks.